really hit the jackpot, and they are just hitting it out of the park. Thank you.
I also noticed in the room we have some new admin. I see Mr. Keithley in the back. You want to just wave over here, Mr. Keithley? The new assistant principal at the middle school. I see Mr. Holtgren right there giving high fives to the teachers as well. Mr. McIntyre right here from Hollywood. Awesome. Anybody I missed at all? I don't think so. All right.
And then can we just take a moment and have them shake some hands, and then we'll let them get to the
Sure.
school night?
Absolutely. Come around. If they come around, just make it.
Welcome, stranger. Hi, welcome. Nice to meet you. Congratulations.
Hi, good to see you. Yeah, thank you. I know, I wish you could be here. Congratulations. How you doing? Hi, congratulations. Hi, welcome. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Uh-oh. Welcome. All right, you win. Keep this prize. All right. Let's go ahead. Welcome aboard. Good to be seen. Yeah. Good to see you. So nice to join you. Nice to meet you in person. Welcome aboard. I know your wife. I am.
I signed her diploma.
Yeah. Jerry, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Ben, good to see you.
All right.
Hey, Tim. Good to meet you.
Okay, where are we at?
Hi.
This might be the most fun I've had at a board meeting.
I know, and that was really just a nice way of saying like, oh, you can all leave because the rest of the meeting's going to be pretty boring.
Stuff before and after. And I get to read my informational report finally.
Yeah.
So school's back in session, as we all know, and everyone is excited and busy with all things education. Our opening day meeting was with all staff was on August 22nd, and the vibe amongst the district seemed to be really positive and exciting for our future. I have received many compliments about each of the new administrators that are part of our team, and it's really fun and energetic time to be part of Lakeshore Schools. Mrs. Toothman, our new Director of Human Resources and Communications, spoke at our opening staff meeting, and she was electric. She has done an amazing job of hiring some last-minute teachers and social workers, and has already put together a new mentoring program for the district. I'm excited to see how she continues to support all the staff within our district. Ms. Maserata, our new Director of Curriculum Instruction, completed 4 straight days of training today in this room. Like an hour ago, this whole place was looking a lot different than it is now. Thanks, Paul. Perfect, changing it up. And that learning was about a new reading diagnostic tool. This work is fundamental towards our district's focus on early literacy. The teaching staff is fully on board and excited about this work in helping our youngest students with reading. And finally, while I cannot steal the thunder from our Lakeshore Excellence Foundation, I'll only prime the pump by saying that I'm super excited about their upcoming announcement that will include the largest financial commitment to our district ever by the foundation. They will be issuing a press release soon, but I can tell you that their support is simply incredible, and I'm humbled and excited to be part of such an amazing community. Also, just to segue a little bit, today is September 11, and I can tell you myself on a personal note, September 11, 2001 was the, I believe, second week of my administrative career in a location. And to say that it was a surreal time is an understatement. I do know that we have a board member who has worked as a first responder for a few years of his life, Griffin. 15 years of his life, and he would like just to say a few things about today.
Thanks, Greg. I feel like we would be remiss without remembering the gravity of today. So I wrote a little something earlier today and just want to share with you. School was back in session for over a week, and the school buses had delivered students to their classrooms as they would on any other Tuesday morning. The bluebird skies gave the impression that a beautiful day was about to start, but this wasn't a usual morning. This was September 11th, 2001. That day forever changed our lives, whether because of enhanced screening at an airport or, heaven forbid, the loss of a friend or a family member in the attacks on domestic soil. We have stories about what we were doing on 9/11. Most, like mine, aren't anything to write home about, but everyone remembers where they were when American Airlines Flight 11 hit the World Trade Center's North Tower, and what happened afterward is something to talk about. It's what we did after 9/11 that changed America and its people. Maybe like me, you were glued to the TV with a wave of emotions rushing over you, from disbelief to anger to hate to sadness. Maybe you cried for the loss of fellow Americans. Maybe you called your parents and told them you loved them. Maybe you held your children extra long before bed that night. Maybe you thanked a police officer or a firefighter. Maybe you bought a soldier a dinner in a restaurant and thanked them for their service. But what did you do 2 years after 9/11? What did you do 8 years after 9/11? What are you doing 22 years after 9/11? I don't think people will forget that dreadful day, but it definitely has slipped to the back of our memory bank. So when you see a soldier at your regular lunch spot, tell the manager you'll take care of his or her bill. Call your parents and tell them you love them. Thank a police officer for what they do. Thank the firefighters and paramedics for what they do. Like those 343 firefighters and 71 police officers lost on 9/11, they are just doing their jobs to serve and protect. And when you get home from this meeting tonight, hold your kids for a few extra seconds. Forget about the bills, forget about the oil change that the car needs. After today, we have one less day. Make the most of it, and never forget that the sacrifices made by so many on this day 22 years ago. Now let's pause for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Nice job, Griffin.
Thank you, Griffin. We will move on to our Board of Education reports. First is Administrative Affairs. Mrs. Von Koenig,
I'm looking for it.
page 43.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See, paper serves a purpose sometimes.
All right. The Administrative Affairs Committee met on Tuesday, August 29th. Present were Griffin Ott, Kevin Bouchou, Director of Human Resources and Communication, Susan Toothman, Superintendent Greg Eating, and Lori Von Koenig. The committee discussed several staffing situations within the district, debriefed the opening day, all-staff meeting, and discussed the Director of Student Services job posting and potential candidates.
Thank you. Facilities and Finance. Mr. Bouchou?
Facilities and Finance Committee met on September 8th. Present were Griffin Ott, Rachel Wade, Chief Financial Officer Tracy Althouse, Superintendent Greg Eating, and myself. The committee discussed the district's enrollment numbers, the current audit that will be presented at our October board meeting, the adjusted budget and fund balance, the month's revenues and expenses, and the expenditures that have come out of the 2023 bond, and the Lakeshore Excellence Foundation support for new projects that Mr. Eating alluded to earlier.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Scaletta, are you ready? Will
Catch my breath here.
Will you
Okay.
share the Policy Committee update for us?
Yes, I will. The Policy Committee met on Thursday, September 7th. Present were Lori Von Koenig, Greg Eating, and myself. The committee discussed how the first few weeks of school have gone and Neola policy updates. Policy 9160 and its related administrative guidelines 5500A are being brought to the full board tonight for first reading. The added wording to Policy 9160 is as follows. Here we go. Smoking and/or the use of tobacco products and/or tobacco substitute products is prohibited at any time within any enclosed facility owned or leased or contracted by the board in the areas directly or indirectly under the control of the board immediately adjacent to the locations of ingress or egress to such facilities. For the purpose of this policy, use of tobacco means to chew or maintain any substance containing tobacco, including smokeless tobacco, in the mouth to derive the effects of tobacco, or as well as the uses of tobacco or tobacco substitutes, including cigars, cigarettes, pipe tobacco, chewing tobacco, snuff, and any other matter and substance that contain tobacco or nicotine, including synthetic nicotine, in addition to papers used to roll cigarettes and/or smoking of electronic vapor or other substitute forms of cigarettes, closed cigarettes, and in any other smoking devices for burning tobacco or any other substance. The addition to the administrative guidelines 5500A are as follows. Violations of the policy 5512, the use of tobacco by students. Students who violate this policy shall be subject to disciplinary action in accordance with the Student Code of Conduct, Student Discipline Code, in accordance with the policies of the board. The first violation shall result in the confiscation of the tobacco products and the following: a collaborative conversation between the student and a chemical dependence professional or a designated staff member such as a school nurse, school counselor, or mental health provider to discuss commercial tobacco use and school policy, as well as what factors led to the violation of the policy, including possible triggers for usage. Offer information to the student about available evidence-based tobacco education programs, example including in-depth or healthy futures. Offer the student information about the available free and low-cost cessation programs and resources, including programs offered through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, My Life, My Quit, or the Tobacco Quick Link, or other nationally recognized tobacco cessation programs. A verbal agreement on next steps between the student and designated staff members. A second violation shall result in confiscation of the tobacco product and a collaborative conversation between the student and chemical dependency professional or designated members as outlined above. Secondly, a student participating in the evidence-based tobacco education program. Examples include the in-depth or healthy futures agreement between the student and designated staff or person on how the completion of the tobacco education program will be confirmed or documented, and offer the student information about available free and low-cost cessation programs and resources, including programs offered through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, My Life, My Quit, or Michigan Tobacco Quick Link, or other nationally recognized tobacco cessation programs. The third and any subsequent violation shall result in the confiscation of the tobacco products and the following: a supportive discipline meeting between the student, their parents, or caregiver, and at least 3 staff members in the following roles: an administrator, a member of the student discipline staff, chemical dependency professional, or a designated staff member such as a school nurse, school counselor, or school-based health staff center staff member, and a student's support staff member as identified by the student, to include the following topics: A, past violations of the policy; B, progress of the student in treatment or other interventions; C, specific challenges and barriers impeding policy adherence; D, commitment by the student to avoid infractions and address tobacco uses through on and off-campus resources; and E, support from staff members and parent caregivers to ensure success; and F, develop of a 60-day plan of monitoring by a designated staff member to include collective agreements of consequences that will follow if this plan is not completed. Secondly, a student participating in an evidence-based tobacco education program. Examples of the in-depth or healthy futures, an agreement between the student and designated staff person on how completion of this program will be confirmed or documented. And third, offer students available all free and low-cost cessation programs and resources, including programs offered through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, My Life, My Quit, and Michigan Tobacco Quit Link, or other nationally recognized cessation programs.
Good job.
Don't smoke. Okay?
Questions, comments? And again, this is just first reading of the policy.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So first paragraph, it says, within any enclosed facility. Does that cover the football, baseball, soccer, softball stadiums, or not? Because I wouldn't consider that enclosed, but they may.
No, but
don't know.
I think the next part of it that says in areas directly or indirectly under the control of the board immediately adjacent to locations of ingress or egress to such facilities.
Okay.
So I think that means basically all district-owned
All school property.
facilities, property. One other, just wanted to make sure everyone realizes that this is, like when they go through those first, second, third violation type things, that is in accordance with student code of conduct and, not or different together. So student code of conduct is on top of whatever items you might see there, so.
Awesome.
Any other questions? Then I would take a motion to accept this as a first reading.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Mr. Scaletta, for slogging through that. I would add just a quick comment about the opening day sessions for the district. It was a great day. It was a great time together, very excited, great staff enthusiasm. In the comments that I made to the staff, I challenged everyone to think about their why for being in education, and particularly in education here at Lakeshore, and invited them to share their responses with me. And I've gotten some really powerful responses that I'm putting together kind of in a aggregate summary that I will share with Greg and then share with all of you, because there's some really, just really heartwarming and really reminds you that we do have the most incredible staff in the world. So just really makes me proud to be sitting up here. All right, moving on. Personnel updates. Greg.
Thank you. Director of Student Services, Stacy Steffes, has decided to take a position with Barry and Risa, working at Lighthouse Education Center. That she begins the first week in October. We have posted the position, and actually, we plan to conduct interviews this week, I think Wednesday. We have some great candidates, too. I'm very excited about that. Hollywood third grade teacher, Kate Cap Frazier, started the school year on a leave of absence and will be retiring in November for personal reasons. Her replacement is Jake Bushu. He has been a paraprofessional at Hollywood since 2020 and also is one of our fieldhouse supervisors. Jake received his bachelor's degree from Grand Valley and his interim teaching certificate for elementary education from Michigan Teachers of Tomorrow.
Thank you. Any questions? If not, I would take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions?
I will very proudly, for the first time in 14 years, abstain from this vote. Yes.
I don't usually ask if there are abstentions,
know.
but I
Saw
knew
that
enough
one
this
coming,
time.
didn't you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sure did. Okay, recommendations of the superintendent. CTE credit approval.
Each year, the board is asked to approve the established Michigan merit curriculum credits that are covered through the state-approved CTE courses offered by the high school. This year, the courses are general education, or education in general, mechanical drafting, HVAC and refrigeration, automotive technician, machine tool operation, machine shop, welding, brazing and soldering, therapeutic services, marketing, and electrical and power transmission. We currently have a total of 457 students enrolled in at least one CTE class, which includes 91 coming from other schools in the county.
Excellent. Any questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on here. More recommendations from the superintendent. Overnight trips. What do you got?
Yeah, we have two really, with a third option possible. So one is a wrestling event. Coach Ryan Quinn is asking permission for about 20 wrestlers to attend an event in Dundee, Michigan, December 8 and 9 this year to learn mental toughness and display physical confidence.
All right, any questions? If not, I would take a motion to approve.
So moved.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, next one.
Yeah, the next one is kind of comes as a dual option. So the dual national championships at SEMA, where 5 members of the Lakeshore Hot Rodders engine build team have qualified to attend the Hot Rodders of Tomorrow dual national championships at the SEMA show in Vegas, October 30th through November 3rd. If the team finishes in the top 5, they will qualify to compete in the top 10 showdown at the PRI show in Indianapolis, December 7 through 9. So this one would cover both of those so that we wouldn't have to convene a potential other meeting in between, in other words. So if you have never had a chance to go
Are they
watch
looking
them,
for chaperones?
Yeah,
that is
I
one of
was
the
gonna say.
coolest,
Yeah.
coolest thing to do. And I'm telling you, they can rebuild an engine, I believe, in under 2 minutes.
They actually
I'm pretty
did
sure.
that at one of our board meetings
Okay.
a few years back when we were still meeting at the
Oh, my
middle
goodness.
school. It was a
Unbelievable.
wonder to behold.
Yeah, very fun.
So moved.
Support.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, public comment. Anyone sign up this month? Sue, Greg?
No, we had nobody
Nope.
sign up today, and nobody signed, public comment, sign up
All
before the meeting
right.
started today, so.
Then our last matter at hand is to adjourn the meeting, so I would accept a motion to do so.
So moved.
Support?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you very much. See everybody next month.
And parents, enjoy back to school night at the high school here.